What's up guys, EJ here, back with another video, and today it's my weekly movie review roundup, episode 2. So this week I've got 5 movies to talk about that I've watched in the past week. So let's get started. So I think last Sunday, December 6th, I watched Maggie, directed by Henry Hobson, and of course starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Abigail Breslin, set in the Midwest during a sort of infectious disease outbreak that's sort of ravaged the whole country. Abigail Breslin plays Arnold's daughter. She's been bitten. He goes into the city to rescue her and bring her home, and as she slowly develops the symptoms that will lead her to become a zombie, Arnold stays by her side and takes care of her. Jolie Richardson plays the stepmom, I think, in this film. This movie, I don't remember it getting a theater release. I think it came out on demand back in April or something, and I heard about it, and I haven't really seen many other people's reviews about it. I don't know what the general consensus is, but it was sort of a letdown. It was sort of a dramatic horror movie, if you like. I mean, there's kind of a missed opportunity here to explore the zombie genre, if you like. Kind of remind me a lot of I guess season 2 of The Walking Dead, where they're cooped up in the farmhouse the whole time, or was that season 3? Either way, I did enjoy Arnold as the dad. He was good, and I've always liked Abigail Breslin since Little Miss Sunshine. But yeah, kind of a bore, to be honest. Maggie could have had a lot more potential. It was just okay, so I gave it a 6 out of 10. Okay, moving on to the big movie of the week, and that is Ant-Man, which I watched on Tuesday, December 8th. Directed by Peyton Reed. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect going into this because, of course, the Marvel universe has its main heroes that have featured in the 2 Avengers films, and Ant-Man is a new one. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Paul Rudd was great as Scott Lang, very funny. I've always liked Paul Rudd since Clueless, basically. And he plays, of course, Ant-Man. Plays sort of a safe-cracking thief who gets out of prison and is recruited by Michael Douglas, who plays Dr. Pym, who's trying to protect his secret formula from his former protege. I forgot the actor's name who plays him. Let's look it up real quickly. Corey Stoll plays Darren Cross, aka Yellow Jacket, who of course is working with Michael Douglas's daughter, played by Evangeline Lilly, who I liked a lot in this film. But for the life of me, while I was watching it, I didn't know anything about this movie really going into it. I was looking at her, I'm like, who is this actress? The black hair sort of threw me, and I thought she was wonderful in the 2 Hobbit films that she was in. So I really enjoyed her performance. Probably my favorite movie is when he parachutes down onto the Avengers building and he runs in to Anthony Mackie as Falcon, and he gets up and he's all, "Hi, I'm Scott," and she's all, "Did he just say hi, I'm Scott?" That was a really funny moment. I really liked the chemistry between all 3 of them, Michael Douglas, Paul Rudd, and Evangeline Lilly. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of cool sort of jokes with the different size and stuff, especially at the fight at the end with on the train set in the little girl's bedroom. Judy Greer was good as his sort of estranged ex-wife, and so on. Bobby Cannavale, great as well. Enjoying him in a lot of things recently. Yeah, he was good as the stepdad, and cop. Michael Pena was great. He was very funny. Yeah, the whole cast, I really enjoyed it. It was just a lot of fun. It didn't take itself too seriously, as opposed to some recent Avenger films, and I just dug it. I thought it was a cool character, and I liked the backstory and sort of everything about it. I thought it was a lot of fun. So Ant-Man I gave 8 out of 10. Okay, up next on Wednesday, December 9th, I watched Trainwreck. Of course, the latest from Judd Apatow. Always been a big fan of Judd Apatow's movies. 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up. Funny People, I know a lot of people didn't care for, but I really like that film a lot. And as for Amy Schumer, who of course basically plays a version of herself, I've always liked her. I like her comedy. I've seen a lot of clips of from her show Inside Amy Schumer. She's very funny, but in this movie, I didn't find her all that likable. I mean, she's basically doing her stand-up act in this movie, but as a character in this film, I did not find her all that likable. Of course, she plays a like a magazine writer, which I didn't buy at all. The fact that she worked as a writer for Tilda Swinton, who I thought was kind of awful as her boss. I like her as an actress, Tilda Swinton, but yeah, there's not many people I enjoyed in this movie. I just didn't find that very many characters all that likable. I'm not a fan of LeBron James at all, so his sort of extended cameo, I didn't really care for. Bill Hader was likable. He was like the only one who was likable. Of course, she's doing a story on sports medicine, and he's a doctor who performs surgeries on athletes. Sort of the Dr. James Andrews, if you like. He's a famous sports physician, if you know sports. He works on all the big athletes and stuff when they get injuries and shit. But overall, it was funny. It had some funny moments. But like I said, I found a lot of the characters very unlikable. But yeah, I like Amy Schumer as a comedian overall, but probably not my favorite Judd Apatow film to date. Okay, moving on to Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday, December 10th. I watched Area 51, written and directed by Oren Peli, who of course brought us the Paranormal Activity franchise, which I do like. I do have them all, I think through 4. I haven't seen the latest one, Ghost Dimension. But they're all pretty much the same. I really do like the first Paranormal Activity, but the sequels have gotten progressively worse as we've gone along. It's kind of enough already with the Paranormal Activity movies. But anyway, as far I had sort of decent hopes for Area 51 because it's a subject I'm really interested in general, the whole UFO conspiracy, and of course Area 51, probably the most secretive location in the United States. This desert base in Nevada, I think near Groom Lake. It's rumored to be, and I think by now it's pretty much proven that it exists if you've seen videos and documentaries on the place. But what's there, what goes on there, that is still a mystery, still something that the government does not want people to find out about. Of course, you've got the interesting fact that employees at the place get flown into the facility every day from a small airport in downtown Las Vegas. That's an interesting fact. And this movie, of course, is about 3 young guys. One of them, they're at a party. He sort of gets freaked out. He thinks he has sort of some kind of encounter, and then months later they decide they're going to break into Area 51 and film what's going on there. It's a found footage horror movie, if you like. So all the stuff that about the UFO phenomena and that whole kind of thing interested me. When they actually get into the facility, I mean, there's only like 20-30 minutes left in the movie, so sort of the movie takes a while to really get to the good stuff, and then the good stuff isn't all that good. So it's kind of a disappointment in that regard. But still, as a sort of found footage horror movie, it's okay. It's not great. by any stretch of the imagination. But like I said, it's a subject I'm very interested in, so I enjoyed it on that level. But I think I only gave it a 6 out of 10, which is being generous, I believe. Okay, moving on to last night, Friday, December 12th. I watched Mr. Holmes, directed by Bill Condon, and of course starring the great Ian McKellen as Sherlock Holmes, the great detective from Scotland Yard. Um, yeah, he plays him in his old age, sort of retired. He's moving to his house in the countryside in the south coast of England. Yeah, there's scenes with him on the beach with the white cliffs of Dover in the background, so obviously that's where he is. Um, yeah, he has a housekeeper played by Laura Linney, who's always great, and she has a young son named Roger, and he's a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. And Ian McKellen is very good. He's always great, very gruff and sort of grumpy as a retired Sherlock Holmes who uses logic to sort of see the world famously like he did as a detective. Of course, his persona that we all know has been embellished by over the years, and he sort of detests the pipe and the deer hunter hat and stuff. So he's sort of wants to shirk that image as he reminisces about his final case, and then of course sort of this accident happens involving the guy's bees, the apiary or whatever it's called. My roommate has bees in our garden, so I'm very familiar with bees and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't know wasps were their biggest enemy, so that was interesting finding out about that in this film. Yeah, I didn't love it, but I've always liked Ian McKellen, of course. He's a great actor, and it's a good performance by him. And like I said, Laura Linney, always great. So interesting film. Just did not love it. And that is Mr. Holmes, which I gave 7 out of 10. So those are the 5 movies this week. Not as long as last week. My last video last week was like 27 minutes. So hopefully this is shorter. Only 5 movies to talk about. So tell me what you think about these movies if you've seen them, obviously. And I'll have more for you next Saturday. Thank you for watching as always. And until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.